I would close, and then it's like, okay, so I worked 12 hours already, and then it was time to be not only mom, but wife, and so it was tiresome.
I'm Bianca Cotton, and welcome to Behind the Confident Smile, a safe space for women to reveal the truths they carry beneath their confident exteriors. Each episode features honest conversations about the struggles, challenges, and experiences that often remain hidden. In this episode, we're talking about what happens when a mom grows unsatisfied with her children's education. For this mother, frustration became fuel, leading her from grief to growth, launching a learning center, homeschooling, and creating lasting change for families in her community. Joining me to discuss it all is Kiana Jones.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How you feeling?
Good. I am good.
That's good.
I am
Cute
good.
mustard color.
Oh, thank you.
So, education, to me, is always a hot topic.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Especially now in the city of Chicago with the budget crisis, with teacher shortages, with, you fill in the blank,
Oh, yeah.
it exists.
Absolutely.
But not just in Chicago, but
Everywhere.
in the neighboring suburbs and everywhere, like education and trying to profit off of education.
Yes.
Right? Which is a whole nother conversation for another day.
Okay.
But what I value about you is that you didn't just complain about it. You were like, okay, I'm going to jump into the system.
Absolutely.
And, once I got in here, this looking real rough. Let's do something.
Yes.
So let's go back to what sparked you and led you into becoming a teacher.
So back in 2007, I initially started out as a sub. And then from there, it transitioned into me being a long-term sub. And, that's when I kind of got a good peek inside of the classroom. I got a good peek into the administration. And I found out that there were so many holes in the system. And what I mean by that is it's like the administration had more of a voice than the teachers who were actually inside of the classroom. And so everybody was trying to make decisions from the boardroom, so to speak, but most of those people had never stepped foot inside of the classroom to see what actually needed to be done and changed. And so that's where, I guess that's where basically my vision started. And I saw then at that point that each child learns differently, and that's okay. And if I could find a way to get through to them in the way that they learned as opposed to the way that we wanted them to learn, then that would profit them more.
That part. So let's talk about the way we want them to learn. Where did that frame of thought or pathology or pedagogy come from? Like, this is how children have to learn. What is that rooted in?
I think we just see it like really across the board in all schools. So they tell children. If you do it this way, then if you do it any other way, it's incorrect, right? So, and then in their mind, they're like, okay, well, I'm not doing it like Sam does, so therefore I must be doing it incorrectly. No, they're doing it in their own way, and that's okay. We have to meet them where they are as opposed to where we want them to be. In our minds, we say, okay, well, they're doing things incorrectly. Well, who's to say they're doing it incorrectly? They're just doing it their way. Yeah. But society has, these standards saying this is how it should be done, and there's no other way. And there are other ways. We just have to find what works for them and not what works for us.
That part. Or what feels like it's easy.
Right, exactly.
Because now I don't have to differentiate my teaching style.
Exactly.
To meet
another kid's way of learning.
At what point did the irritation start for you? Like, was it at the month 3 of being a sub, month 6, year 1? Like, when did you start to be like, this is churning my gears?
It was soon. I wouldn't say it was even a full month. I honestly wouldn't. And it was, I could see in the children where the frustration would begin. And, I had to tell them, okay, let's take a step back. But when you present things to the administration, it fell on deaf ears. And, like I said, that's why I said it's like they're trying to make decisions from the boardroom as opposed to gaining insight from inside the classroom. We are the ones who are actually living it and experiencing it. But any suggestions that were made, it will fall on deaf ears.
Did leadership ever come to you all asking for feedback, or was it always we just giving feedback?
I would say no for me, and maybe it was because I was just a long-term sub, so maybe that's why they felt like they didn't need to ask. But I never received that, no.
At what point did you say, I need to do something different because this is not working for the children that I'm serving?
Yeah. So after about a year, I left because I knew that teaching was my calling and children were my passion. And so I knew I didn't want to get away from that totally. And so I began to pray. And I said, okay, God, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? And he clearly showed me. At the time, I was living in Matson, and I had, it wasn't a big home. It was our starter home. And he showed me the setup in that home. He showed me exactly what went where. And that's when, I said, okay, I need to switch gears. And I left. I didn't know what I was doing next, Bianca. I had no clue, but I trusted what he told me. Yeah. I trusted the vision that he showed me. And so from there, that's where I started the Home Learning Center.
When you think about, what year was that?
So I started the Home Learning Center 2013.
2013. When you think about 2013, Kiana, starting in your home with what you had, where you were, what comes up for you now? And you said you had 2 children.
At the time.
At the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you got 2 kids enrolled.
Yeah.
What comes up for you when you think about that?
Trust the process. That's what I had to trust the process. I didn't know, if that, I won't say I didn't know, because once God shows me something, I totally trust his word and I'm standing on that. But I just didn't know really what it looked like for me because, I had children of my own and, I had a husband and we had just moved into that home and, we had mortgage hanging over our heads. So I'm like, okay, is this what's best? But if God said it, I have to believe it, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I had to trust the process.
So trusting the process in the beginning with a seed. What happens after you open up? How did you start marketing yourself? Like, take us through. You're a new business owner now.
Yes.
You're self-employed.
Yes, right. Big jump.
Right.
So what I did initially, I went to social media and, I created me a flyer and I posted that on my page. And luckily I have a lot of supporters who shared the post. I went to grocery stores and I got more clientele from posting on social media than, but I went around the local grocery stores and, I would hang my flyers in there and I had to rip my number off on the bottom of the page. Call me if you're interested. But yeah, most of my clientele came from social media. And then I had actually one of the 2 children that started. One was my cousin. So I'm like, okay, so I had like one real client at that time. One was family, but
right.
Yeah, yep.
Man, and your age window was 2 to what?
So starting out, my age was 6 weeks to 12. I did baby starting out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you had the babies.
I had the babies, and my hours started out at 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Ooh.
I know. Yeah.
So what was life after 6 p.m. for you? Because you a mom, you're a
Yes.
wife, and
Yes, I would close, and then it's like, okay, so I worked 12 hours already, and then it was time to be not only mom but wife, and so it was tiresome. It was very tiresome. Many days I felt like I had nothing left in me because I'm like, okay, I just gave it to all these kids, and now I had nothing else to get on my own. But you find a way as a mom to push through.
right.
So it was very tiring. My days were tiring but rewarding.
Yeah.
So
2013, now 12 years later, do you still feel that tiredness, or have you found a groove?
I found a groove.
Okay.
So I found ways to still have the value that the learning center holds, but at the same time I had to find ways to make it less tiring for myself, because if I'm no good for me, I won't be any good for them, and I can't pour from an empty cup. So what I did is I shortened my hours. I'm now 8:30 to 5. I have an assistant now, and also just another takeaway, I used to have to stop mid-lesson and prepare lunch. So now, as traditional schools do, kids, you all bring a lunch. And then that way, that'll not only, save me a little bit more time, it'll allow them to learn a little bit longer. It cuts out a little bit of burnout for me. So I found ways to kind of, maneuver and navigate it better.
And did the ages shift? Because you said you
Yes.
started at 6 weeks.
I started at
So-
6 weeks. I now start at 2. I start ages now 2 to 5. And so, I'm thinking about, because I'm getting a lot of, I have a lot of people in my ear asking me just to strictly do homeschooling for.
I'm just saying, I got a crew.
Yeah. I tell everybody, I don't move until God says go. So I've been having very vivid dreams about what I'm supposed to be doing.
Okay.
And I'm trying to be obedient.
Well, let this day mark that.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I'm excited.
I am too. I'm praying on it still. I'm thinking about it, and it's like, I think God is trying to slap me like, okay, I'm gonna show you 2 dreams already. Like, what are you doing?
So what grade would you go up to?
Some people are like, okay, if you go all the way through 8th grade, I'll just have my child follow, but it won't be me. I have to get a team behind me, and so I don't know.
Okay.
I honestly haven't even thought about it, but if I start out in my home, I would probably just do K through 2.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, keep me posted.
Yes, ma'am. I shall. Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
I love that. I love that for you.
Thank you.
The evolution
Thank
of
you.
the God dream.
Oh, yeah.
The seed that was planted over a decade ago
Yes.
to watch it bloom
Yes.
and blossom. How have you changed in this journey when you think about going from being a sub and a permanent sub to, okay, God showed me this, now I'm starting in my home with the learning center. Like, how have you seen yourself grow?
Whew. I've seen myself become, I would say, more patient, honestly. I mean, I've always had patience, but, anybody that knows working with children on a daily basis, you reach patience on another level.
Oh, yes.
And so I've definitely grown in that area. And then also, it's taught me to set boundaries, just doing what I do every day, because you have, some people who will push those boundaries, but I've learned to set boundaries. I was always like a yes person. Anybody that would ask something, I'm quick to say yes, yes, yes. And I saw myself, I don't want to say drowning, but I saw myself, how can I word it? I wasn't myself, I guess you can say, so to speak. And I began to have health challenges because I was always a yes person. And so I've learned to just kind of set boundaries for myself where I'm still doing what I do best, but at the same time, I'm not leaving myself out, so to speak.
Like making yourself a priority on your
Exactly.
priority list. And
Exactly.
not number 15.
Not number,
Right.
yeah, not letter Z, okay?
Right.
'Cause, yeah,
Not letter Z.
exactly.
Or no letter.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm Wattice Gaddings, inviting you to tune in to the next edition of Sisters Talking, when the sisters and I discuss colorism amongst Black women.
Head of this department said, "Your resume looks great, you have great experience, and you certainly have the right look. I don't want to pass the light skin test. I'm a Black woman."
Join the conversation Tuesday at 7 p.m. on CAN TV Cable Channel 19 or stream online at cantv.org. Elevated conversations and storytelling. Experience the power of community television.
I'm just so proud of you, like 12
Thank
years
you.
later, right? What are some tidbits or feedback that you have for board members of school districts, principals, vice assistant principals, superintendents? Like, what do you want them to know?
I would say first, listen to the teachers because they are the ones who are in the classrooms daily. So take what they are bringing you and at least give it some thought. I would also tell them to listen to them because burnout is real. And so if they're bringing you something, I would say, just kind of at least take heed to what they're saying. Yeah, that's really just listen to the teachers. And to the teachers, I would say continue to advocate, continue to speak up, because I think that's one thing that I didn't do enough was to speak up. And, maybe it was because I thought I didn't have a voice then, especially, being a sub. I didn't have a voice, but continue to advocate for those children. Whatever it is that they see, bring it to the board members, bring it to the administration, bring it to the superintendent, because if they, stop talking, then change will never happen.
That part.
So.
At what point in your journey did you start homeschooling your children, and why?
I started homeschooling initially during COVID because, as we know, the kids were home anyway, things were shut down. And I started homeschooling because I homeschooled first my middle son. I started with him when he was 2, and I saw the progression in him. He bypassed kindergarten and went straight into first grade because he tested out of kindergarten. And it's like the second that I introduced him to public school, I saw I don't want to say the regression, but he did become stagnant. And so when COVID hit, I said, okay, you know what? I'm not going to send them back to school, even though, doors reopened with children being masked. I said, nope, I'm just going to keep them here because fortunately I knew how to teach. And so I was, blessed enough to do that for another 2 years, even after COVID. And I saw the progression in my boys. And the second that they went back, I saw the regression hit again. So that's what prompted me to homeschool. And if I were able to still do it now, I absolutely would.
What would you say to parents who see regression in their children?
Advocate for them in the classroom, even if I tell parents this all the time. If you see where your children begin to act out in school, 9 times out of 10, they're not acting out for the sake of acting out. They may be acting out because they're bored. So advocate for them. Go and ask the teacher, okay, well, is there extra work that, he could be doing at home? Can I see what you're doing? Is there work, say, at a higher grade level? Can you give this to him and, see if this will help? I also tell them to partner with the teachers because many parents too, they feel that the bulk of the responsibility and the education falls on the teacher. Okay, well, you're supposed to be teaching them. And then by the time they get home, parents may feel like, okay, I'm not supposed to do anything. No, you're their partner. So, follow up with the teacher and say, hey, what is it that my child could be doing more of? Could you give supplemental work at home? Could I see what they need extra help with at school? And then, do your part at home. So that's what I would tell them.
That's good. You do parent workshops?
No, you trying to add more to my plate?
No, it's called delegation. You know people.
Yeah.
The reason why I jokingly said that, but for real though, about it because I'm in reflection. I'm about to be 6 months postpartum with my youngest child. It's so much focus on prenatal care and the baby's first year. But then it's a drop off. It's like, parents still need support on what's next,
Yeah.
what to focus on, how to partner with educators. What does that look like?
Yeah.
Training on both sides. How do
Absolutely.
educators partner with families? How do we walk and work alongside each other? How do we identify as a parent the strengths and the growth areas of our children?
Yes.
How do we learn how to educate them and learn their learning styles? Pick up on the idiosyncrasies. Like, to me, that is a workshop.
Yeah.
Or a series
That's
of
true.
them.
Yeah, that's true.
If we say we are birthing and raising and training the next generation
That's
of
right.
leaders, it's just not one person's responsibility.
That's right.
This is a
village.
a
It takes
community effort.
That's right.
But the community got to be walking and talking the same.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's where we struggle.
Yeah.
Because many times we are not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with you, walk us through like how, because you did a beautiful job through the virtual preschool of informing us as parents, like, this is what I'm working on, here's the lesson plan. I was like, I wonder how she do this in person, because this is virtual and it's tight, like the whole month is planned out. So talk us through how you work with your parents, like how you create that space.
So what I do now is it's pretty much the same concept. I give them an overview of the month, and then also break it down like week by week. And so I send every Sunday, I send the parents something via text. It's called This Week's Focus. And I let them know exactly what we will be working on for that week. And I do it every week. And so, we may do math, we'll do sight words, we'll do science. It varies every week. But I make sure that they are aware of what we are doing so they don't have to guess. Because I know for many daycares, and this is why I don't consider myself a daycare, I call it a learning center. Because for many daycares, you get the coloring worksheets and you're like, okay, well, what did my child learn today? They're left guessing what was done as opposed to knowing. So I let them know up front what we will be doing. And then also I have something called the weekly binder. And in that binder, I input all of their worksheets that we do. So it's sent home every Friday so they can see, okay, well, this is what my child did. This is what we're working on. So again, they never have to guess. And anytime they want to go back and review what was done, they are able to do so. So they know.
Where did you get these ideas from?
Honestly, I have no clue, Bianca. I don't know.
Because
I don't know. It just comes naturally because maybe it's from me wanting to know. Because one thing with my oldest son, he went to a private school, which I loved, but then he went to a Montessori school, and my husband and I, we would always, sit and be like, well, we wonder what he did today, because you ask a child, what did you do at school? I play, and it's like, okay, well, what else did you do?
That's what they enjoy.
Exactly. It's like, but what else did you? And I was always left guessing, like, okay, I wonder what he did. I wonder what he's working on. I never knew. And so I don't want to leave these parents guessing, like, okay, I wonder if my child is even learning. I wonder what they're learning.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you
like, how do we
what
track
they're doing.
progress?
Exactly. And that's something else I do. So I do monthly progress reports. And I don't like to call it testing, but I call it a review. And let's see if you are retaining the information that's being taught. And so I do a progress report. And then if I see, there are struggle areas, I don't leave the parents guessing. I don't wait until, okay, well, here's kindergarten. They're about to go to kindergarten. Then the kindergarten teacher is telling them, okay, well, this is what we see. No, we can address that early on. We can get them a 0 to 3 eval done, and we can address the issues now so that they're their best self when they begin kindergarten.
This is why I like you. Like, because one is intentionality. It is focus. It is communication. It is being proactive.
Yes.
It is having the real conversations. It is, okay, I notice you like to color with brown crayons. That's fine. Color with your brown crayons. He color with his purple crayons,
That's
right? It's all beautiful. It's not, okay, we all need to be doing the same thing.
That's right.
And that is empowering for a young learner to enhance their confidence
Yes.
and their identity and who they are and how they were designed and
Yes.
created.
Yes. Unique.
Yes.
And that's the work reflects that.
Yes. So what have parents, if you can think of one or two parents that have come back maybe years later, like, my child, because of this, they're able to do this. Have you had any testimonials like that?
Yes. I've had parents tell me, well, the main one is my child was able to bypass kindergarten.
Oh.
Yeah. And they go straight to first grade. And
You
so,
had that happen several times?
Oh, several. Several.
Okay. I need you to promote that.
Yeah.
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 That's a beautiful outcome.
It is. It is. It is. And then I've had some. I have a little girl right now. Hey, Madison. But she's actually at a boarding school. But she is in 5th grade, but she's reading at a 12th grade level. Yep. And I started out with her when she was 1. And she stayed with me until she was 4. But even when she left me, I let Mom know, I'm like, you've got something big. Like, she is amazingly bright. She is brilliance personified. And I always told Mom that because even when she left me, I mean, she would books, books, not the kid books that she would get off the shelf, but it would be like magazines. She would like read it. Or she would ask me, could she have a newspaper? And that's what she would like reading. So, yeah, but I mean, I see the growth in parents. They always come back and tell me. And then there are other parents who, their children come to me late. Like I have one now, she's 4. And when she came to me only about a month ago. But when she came to me, she couldn't trace her name, didn't know how to spell her name, knew no sight words, didn't know how to hold the pencil. I always say pencil grasp. But she would hold it like this at 4. And up until from 2 to 4, that's like the integral period for when a child needs to learn how to write. And she hadn't grasped that concept, and I told Mom, I'm like, it's okay. She'll learn it soon. Yeah. And so now, like I said, we're a month in. As of now, she knows 17 sight words. She sometimes still, grips the pencil, but as soon as I say pencil graph, she's like, okay, let me correct it. So she's doing fine. She's fine, and she will be fine. I have another up until August with her before she transitions to kindergarten. But I told Mom, she's learning her own pace, and she'll be all right.
Yeah.
And she's gonna be all right.
You're a blessing. I'm telling you.
Thank
You're
you.
a blessing in this world, and I'm glad that you haven't given up.
Oh, I won't.
And I know you won't.
Nope.
But I'm so glad that you continue to move forward.
Thank you.
That you are a trusted resource for parents who are seeking a real space for their children to learn, grow in a holistic manner.
Yes.
So it's so beautiful to watch your
Thank
journey from afar. Just be
Thank
like,
you.
right?
I always say, like, the business keeps growing because God keeps flowing. So
I love that. I
it's
just see the
growing.
oil.
Yeah, girl.
The oil
it's
is pouring.
pouring
It's
in.
pouring.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
it's God. It's not me.
Kiana, thank you. Thank you for being here. In closing, what is one word or one sentence you want to speak into yourself 5 years from now?
Ooh, I would go back to this one. Trust the process. Trust God's word and trust the process. Because like I said, the visions that he has shown me, something big is coming.
It is. So when you watch this again 5 years, remember this 12-year mark.
Yes.
That's going to be good. I'm going to be
It's
waiting
gonna
with
be
my
big.
popcorn.
He already showed me what it is. I got to move my feet.
Yeah.
That's it. But he showed me, he told me, and now it's time for me to move.
Beautiful. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
For being here, for sharing space, for impacting our world.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Kiana, I can't thank you enough for your testimony and the courage it took to share it. That's our time for this week. Thank you for making Behind the Confident Smile a part of your day. Let's stay connected on social media. Share your questions, comments, show ideas with me at Behind the Confident Smile Podcast on Instagram. Until we meet again, keep striving, keep smiling.